So William is not taking any more crap from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. William doubles down. According to multiple sources, it's now a matter of when, not if, Prince Harry.
Oh, Prince William has snapped, and this time it's not just royal frustration. He's calling in the lawyers. No warm greetings, no polite royal calm. This is straight up war. The future King of England is gearing up for a legal showdown with his own brother, all over their late mother's name. A sacred promise made between two grieving sons, now broken like it never mattered. Viewers, this is the one story that's got everyone talking, and you're about to see why. We're diving deep into the Diana documentary disaster, the shattered brotherhood promise, and Meghan's behind-the-scenes influence that reportedly pushed William past his breaking point. We'll also break down whether the prince actually has the legal power to stop this whole thing. And later, that NBA courtside moment that's got body language experts whispering and royal fans raising their eyebrows about this marriage. So let's set the stage. Diana's 30th death anniversary hits in 2027. A date already heavy with emotion. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are running things under a slimmed-down Netflix deal after their massive $100 million contract didn't get renewed the same way. Now, new plans for a documentary about Diana could reignite a royal feud no one thought would go this far. Harry and Meghan are reportedly cooking up a brand new documentary about Princess Diana, and it's already shaking the royal walls. Sources claim the project will dig deep into Diana's life, her brutal treatment by the media, how the monarchy handled her, and the emotional scars her tragic death left on her two sons. Now, on paper, some people might say, what's the big deal? He adored his mother. Of course, he wants to share her story, but here's where it gets complicated and where the drama really begins. Back in 2017, for the 20th anniversary of Diana's passing, William and Harry stood side by side. They worked together to create two powerful, respectful documentaries. One aired on the BBC and another on ITV. It was raw. It was emotional. It was full of heart. Every second showed the pain and love of two sons trying to protect their mother's legacy. When those documentaries were done, the brothers came to a powerful agreement. That would be it. No more major anniversary specials, no more TV deals, no more turning Diana's life into a media event. Her memory would be honored, not monetized. That promise wasn't written down, it didn't need to be. It was sealed between two brothers who had just relived the hardest chapter of their lives, a gentleman's agreement built on trust, grief, and the shared duty to protect their mother's dignity. That kind of promise, the one built on trust, respect, and shared pain, shouldn't need a contract. It's the sort of bond that only two people of true integrity could understand. But now, it seems Harry has decided that it doesn't count anymore. And that's where everything explodes. Sources close to William say his reaction after hearing about this new project wasn't just disappointment, it was pure shock and heartbreak. Palace insiders aren't even trying to sugarcoat it. They're calling the whole situation sickening, deeply distressing, and straight up a betrayal. The future king, once so protective of his brother, is now, according to multiple reports, in active talks with his legal team to see if anything can be done to shut this down. But let's be real. William's fury isn't only about the documentary itself, it's about who's driving it. Sources insist Meghan Markle is playing a major behind-the-scenes role in shaping this project. And that detail alone reportedly sent William's anger into overdrive. What started as frustration turned into full-blown fury once he realized Meghan's hand was in it. Here's the tricky part. William, in private moments, has admitted that Harry has every right to speak about their mother. Of course he does. She was his mother too. Their grief is real on both sides, right? But the way each brother is handling that pain has now split them further than ever before. But here's the truth that cuts deep. Meghan Markle never met Princess Diana, not once. There's no shared memory, no private story, no moment of loss between them. What Meghan does have, though, is a massive content deal that's in desperate need of a hit, a high-end lifestyle that demands serious money flow, and a razor-sharp awareness of just how powerful the Diana brand still is across the world.
I understand why William feels this way. I actually feel his anger. I feel his disgust. I think he's right to feel that. Do I believe that there is any realistic legal route to him in some way stopping this documentary? I do not believe so. I do not believe so. because there was nothing signed between William and Harry. It was a gentleman's agreement made public between brothers.
According to insiders close to William, that's exactly what makes this whole situation unbearable. From his point of view, letting Meghan have any influence, or worse, any financial gain from his mother's legacy isn't a tribute. It's business. He reportedly sees it as a cold, calculated move disguised as emotion, a commercial transaction dressed up as grief. And for William, that feels like one of the deepest personal betrayals imaginable. And it doesn't stop there. This tension has been building for years. Meghan has often drawn both subtle and bold comparisons between herself and Diana, painting herself as the misunderstood outsider, the compassionate rebel who stood against the system. To William, those parallels don't feel like admiration. They feel like appropriation, and it's hitting him harder than ever. She's been painted as the woman who never fit in, the one the palace failed to protect, the eternal victim of the firm. William has watched that narrative grow for years, and through it all, he's stayed silent in public. But behind closed doors, insiders say he finds those comparisons deeply offensive. Diana wasn't a publicity template or a PR playbook. She was his mother, not some brand for someone else's comeback story. And here's where things get real. The law might not be on William's side this time. As painful as it is, trying to legally block this documentary would be incredibly tough. Diana was a public figure, and Harry is her son. That means the courts will almost certainly see this as fair game. There's no signed contract between the brothers, no written proof of their promise, just a broken bond and a lot of pain. Both British and American law protect the right to make documentaries about public figures, even ones who've passed away. So while William's legal team can send letters, issue warnings, or threaten lawsuits, experts say the odds of actually stopping production are slim. Most royal legal experts agree. The threat itself might be more useful than any courtroom battle. It's pressure, not prevention. It's about sending a message, drawing a line, and forcing the other side to think twice. But what William does have might be even more powerful than any legal weapon. And here's where it gets really interesting. William's not just any angry brother, he's a man with serious institutional power. We're talking about influence that only a handful of people on the planet could ever dream of having. Netflix might be in business with Harry and Meghan, but they're also playing nice with King Charles himself, recently teaming up with him on a major royal documentary. You better believe they want to keep that royal door wide open for future projects, especially with the future King of England. That's why insiders say a quiet, private message from William to Netflix executives, not through lawyers, but through those discreet, high-level royal channels, could hit harder than any lawsuit. A single phone call from the right palace contact could have executives thinking twice before they greenlight anything. And this doesn't just stop with Netflix. Amazon's already partnered with William on a wildlife documentary, and Apple TV Plus worked with him on another powerful project. The truth is, the global streaming game might look huge from the outside, but behind the scenes, it's a tight circle of relationships and long-term deals. Sure, Harry and Meghan have that first look deal, meaning Netflix gets dibs on their projects, but if Netflix says no, they can still shop the Diana documentary around. Amazon, Apple, whoever's willing to pay, and that's exactly why William's quiet influence could change everything. William's smartest move might not be in court at all. It could be making sure no one else wants to touch this documentary. If every major platform quietly backs away, the project dies before it even starts. Whether he's willing to pull those strings behind the scenes is another question. But make no mistake, he has the power to make that happen. And that kind of silent pressure, it could hit harder than any courtroom drama ever could. Now, let's switch gears completely, because while all this royal chaos is unfolding behind palace walls, something very different went down courtside at an NBA game this week. And it's got everyone talking. Harry and Meghan showed up front row, the ultimate spotlight seats, cameras flashing, crowd buzzing, the kind of visibility most people only dream of. But here's what's got people scratching their heads. This is the same couple who have sued tabloids over invasion of privacy, who've spoken about how constant media attention was destroying their peace, and who've claimed they just wanted a quiet private life away from the spotlight, and yet, there they were, center stage, courtside, with every lens pointed straight at them. Now, when you slow down the footage, that's when things get really telling. Meghan looked fully locked in, animated, charming, clearly aware of every camera's gaze. She was working the room like a pro, but beside her, Harry looked tense. Hands clasped tight, shoulders slightly turned away, almost shrinking from the attention. And when the cameras finally caught him, Meghan gave him a nudge, a gentle reminder to smile for the show. Harry's response? Just a small wave, a quick, polite gesture, and then he looked away almost instantly. That moment said a lot without saying anything at all. Body language experts didn't miss a beat. Watching the footage frame by frame, they pointed out something striking. Throughout the entire clip, Harry never reached for Meghan once. She touched him several times, subtle brushes, small gestures, but he never reciprocated, not even once. That quiet distance between them spoke louder than any headline ever could. Now, to be fair, reading an entire marriage from a few seconds of courtside footage isn't an exact science. Everyone has off nights, and public appearances, especially under a wall of flashing cameras, can be stressful for any couple. And for someone like Harry, who's had such a complicated and painful history with the media, that kind of pressure can easily show. So no one should jump to sweeping conclusions from a single basketball game. But one fact is undeniable. This is the same couple who've built their entire post-royal image around the claim that media exposure is harmful to them, that constant attention wrecked their peace of mind. Yet here they were, front and center, sitting in the most photographed seats in one of the most photographed arenas in America. On a night when they knew every camera would be watching, that courtside appearance wasn't some random coincidence. It was a decision. Every camera flash, every seat placement, every smile, all of it was planned. Sources close to the situation claim the whole night was a carefully staged PR move meant to show the world a united front, a photographed moment of harmony between a couple surrounded by endless separation rumors. But here's the twist, that strategy might have totally backfired, because the pictures that ended up going viral weren't the cozy, laughing, happy couple shots they were hoping for. Nope. The images that flooded social media showed Harry looking tense, detached, almost like a man who'd rather be anywhere else than sitting courtside under 1,000 flashing lights. And when you connect all the dots, a bigger picture starts to form. Insiders say Harry and Meghan are facing serious financial strain. Their massive Netflix deal, the one that once brought in $100 million, wasn't renewed on the same generous terms. Their other ventures, the brand deals, podcasts, lifestyle projects, haven't pulled in the kind of money needed to sustain their Montecito empire. Because let's be real, that glamorous California lifestyle doesn't come cheap. The sprawling estate, the full-time security detail, the household staff, the global travel, and the nonstop PR machine all burn through cash fast. And right now, the income just isn't matching the image. So maybe that NBA spotlight wasn't just about love, maybe it was about visibility, the kind that keeps doors and deals open. With all that in mind, the idea of a Diana anniversary documentary isn't just emotional for Harry, it's financially strategic. For him, it's not only about paying tribute to his mother, it's about creating a global hit that could refill those shrinking coffers. And honestly, from a business perspective, it makes sense. Princess Diana remains one of the most powerful, most magnetic figures of the 20th century. Her name alone still draws headlines decades later. A documentary told through the eyes of her son, the boy who lived through that tragedy, would be instant gold for any streaming service. One insider even said it straight. It would be irresistible, and they're right. It would make serious money and global waves overnight. But here's the part that cuts deep. What's the real cost? Not in dollars, but in everything else that actually matters. Because if Harry goes through with this, he's not just making a documentary. He's burning the last fragile bridge that might still connect him to William. Sources close to the palace say that relationship is already hanging by a thread, maybe even beyond saving. And this project, it could snap it completely. It also costs Harry something far bigger, his credibility. For years, he's built a moral story around himself that his actions come from truth, from healing, from protecting the vulnerable. But a Diana anniversary documentary, produced under a commercial deal, with Meghan reportedly shaping it from behind the scenes, makes that narrative a hard sell. It starts to look exactly like what William believes it is. not a tribute, but a transaction. And yet, even knowing all that, Harry seems ready to press on anyway. And so here we are, the point of no return. Insiders say production talks are already moving forward, and unless something drastic happens behind the scenes, the Diana anniversary documentary will go ahead. Harry appears unshaken, convinced that his version of the story, his truth, deserves to be told, no matter who it hurts or what it costs. For William, this isn't just another royal scandal. It's personal. Every update feels like reopening an old wound that never healed. People close to him say he's torn between outrage and heartbreak, that he can't understand how his brother, the one person who lived through that same nightmare, could turn it into a global media event. To him, this isn't storytelling. It's betrayal disguised as remembrance. Meanwhile, Meghan reportedly sees the project as legacy work, a way to honor Diana's courage, while shaping a narrative that reinforces her and Harry's image as modern-day truth-tellers. But critics aren't buying it. They're calling it opportunistic, perfectly timed to rescue their struggling media brand and reinsert them into the global spotlight. Netflix, for its part, is said to be treading carefully. The potential audience numbers are enormous, but so is the backlash risk. Royal sources whisper that executives are quietly weighing whether the profit is worth the inevitable royal fallout. So what happens next? Will William go silent and wait this out, or will he pull the kind of royal strings that could quietly kill the project before it premieres? One thing's certain, the tension between these brothers isn't just simmering anymore, it's boiling. And if this documentary drops, it might mark the final devastating end of what was once an unbreakable royal bond.
William actually would be able to do this because, of course, he can appeal to Harry's morality. But does Harry have a sense of morality anymore? I would argue not, after the way that he has trashed his own family for the past 6 years.
And as the countdown to Diana's 30th anniversary inches closer, the tension inside the royal circle is becoming impossible to ignore. Every insider leak, every whispered update feels like a warning that the calm before the storm is almost over. The palace is reportedly bracing for impact, unsure of just how explosive this documentary could be once it hits the public eye. Behind closed doors, William is said to be rallying quiet allies, senior aides, longtime family friends, even media contacts who've stayed loyal through the years. His focus now? Protecting his mother's legacy from what he sees as being repackaged into a glossy commercial product. For him, this isn't about revenge or reputation, it's about respect. He wants the world to remember Diana as the woman she was, not as a storyline rewritten for profit. Harry, meanwhile, seems locked in, determined to show the world that he's not just living in his brother's shadow. Those close to him say he feels misunderstood, convinced that this project could finally set the record straight about his mother's life and what she endured. But that conviction may come at a devastating emotional price, because every move he makes seems to push William further away. And Meghan? Sources say she's staying strategic, focusing on narrative control, presentation, and how to frame the story so it lands as empowerment, not exploitation. It's a risky play, one that could either reignite sympathy for the couple or destroy what's left of their public credibility. One palace aide summed it up bluntly: if this film goes live, there's no going back. The world isn't just about to watch another royal documentary. It's about to witness the final collapse of a brotherhood that once carried their mother's memory together. And now, the world waits. The cameras are ready, the scripts are written, and every royal insider knows that once this project drops, there's no undoing it. The Diana anniversary documentary isn't just another headline. It's the spark sitting on top of years of buried emotion, rivalry, and resentment. The stakes have never been higher for the two brothers who once walked side by side behind their mother's coffin, and who now stand on opposite sides of a media battlefield. Behind palace walls, the mood is icy. William has reportedly cut off nearly all communication with Harry, relying instead on his team to handle every interaction through official channels. He doesn't trust him anymore, one insider revealed. Not with private words, not with family memories, not with Diana's name. That level of mistrust says everything about how far things have fallen. Harry, on the other hand, is said to be feeling isolated but resolute. Friends say he believes the world deserves to hear the truth. his truth, and that no amount of royal disapproval will silence him this time. But even some of his allies admit privately that this could be a gamble that costs him everything, the last shred of his relationship with William, and maybe even his public sympathy. Meanwhile, Meghan's role in all of this continues to divide opinion. Some see her as Harry's rock. Others say she's the driving force behind a story that could permanently fracture the royal family. Either way, this isn't just a royal disagreement anymore. It's the final act of a family drama playing out on a global stage. The crown, the legacy, and the memory of Diana herself are now caught in the crossfire. And when the world finally watches this documentary, one question will hang heavy in the air. Will it bring truth and healing? Or will it destroy what's left of this royal family forever? And as whispers of release dates start floating around Hollywood and London alike, the countdown feels eerily tense. The royal household is said to be in full containment mode, quietly preparing statements, media briefings, and digital responses for when the first trailer drops. This isn't just another royal scandal, it's a crisis campaign in motion, and everyone inside the palace knows what's coming. William, now more than ever, is said to be channeling his fury into focus. Those close to him describe late-night meetings and phone calls with trusted advisors, mapping out how to defend Diana's legacy once the project goes public. He's determined that his mother's memory won't be twisted into a spectacle. He wants the truth of who she was, not a version edited for views, one insider said firmly. Every move he's making now feels personal, emotional, protective. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the Sussex camp seems to be moving full speed ahead. Meghan is reportedly polishing every detail, from the tone of the trailer to how the film's messaging aligns with their brand of truth and compassion. But insiders claim there's more than just storytelling on the line. This documentary could be the couple's last major shot at reclaiming their media influence and securing their financial footing. Streaming insiders say the buzz around the film is already massive. "It's not just a documentary, it's an event," one producer whispered. But that excitement comes with danger, that because if this release misfires, it won't just damage reputations, it could close doors across Hollywood for good. This is the calm before the chaos. The moment before the first clip goes live, before the world sees what Harry and Meghan have created. And when that happens, every buried emotion, every royal secret, every silent feud will explode in front of millions. Harry's stance, according to sources close to him, is crystal clear. He believes Diana's memory belongs to no institution. He doesn't need permission from the monarchy, the palace, or even his brother to tell her story. He is her son, one insider emphasized. That alone gives him the right. And while that argument has emotional power, it's not entirely wrong. It raises a haunting question. Just because you can do something, does that make it right? That's where Harry seems to have lost his balance. Somewhere along the way, the line between what's right and what's justified blurred completely. And now, what we're witnessing isn't just another royal fallout, it's the final collapse of a brotherhood that once symbolized strength, unity, and shared grief. Two boys, ages 15 and 12, once walked behind their mother's coffin with the weight of the world on their shoulders. Years later, they stood together again, honoring her memory with dignity and love. And now, all that's left is silence and legal threats. A royal tragedy repeating itself, not through scandal or paparazzi, but through the choices of her own sons. Diana spent her life fighting to be seen honestly. She wanted to protect her children, to make sure they'd grow up in a world that wouldn't break them. She deserved better than what the crown gave her. And she deserves better than this heartbreaking war over her name. So now it comes down to one question. And it's one only you, the viewer, can answer. Is Harry truly trying to honor his mother's legacy? Or has the pressure to stay relevant, the hunger for attention, and the weight of financial reality overtaken everything he once claimed to stand for? If you've been following this story and have your own thoughts, don't stay quiet. Drop your opinion below. Do you believe Harry's heart is in the right place, or has this gone too far? And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep this conversation alive. The truth deserves to be seen, and you deserve to be part of it.